Post-game coverage right here on NBA TV. Welcome back into our studios. I'm Kristen Ledlow. He's Ryan Holland. Steve Smith is joining us as well right here on Playoff Central Live. Guys, as we wait for these guys to get to the podium and address the media, let's start with some big picture concerns. How concerned are you about Luka Doncic and the Mavericks at this point?
I'm extremely concerned in the sense that his conditioning, how much help does he have? You know, in games 1 and 2, there was such a high volume of Luka Doncic where he had the ball in his hands, where he's scoring. He's
basketball. You said it best. How can somebody get him an easy bucket? But also, how can somebody else step up? Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't have a great game. Maxi Kleber didn't. I thought the adjustment of T. Lue starting Nicholas Batum gave them the situation defensively where all 5 guys could switch, and there was no lane for Luka to have a diving guy to pick you apart. So give T. Lue a lot of credit. Give Nicholas Batum a lot of credit. Came in, stepped up. I thought this was the Clippers' best defensive effort we saw so far in the playoffs, and obviously led by the 2 stars offensively. But you're right. The Dallas Mavericks going to have to find some way to score, and maybe, I think, Ryan, yes, Porzingis, put him down on the block a little bit, let him draw some double teams with his size and maybe get somebody some easier shots because of his size down there on the block.
And it's not conventional, but this team's their offense predicates their defense. You know, that's just the way that Dallas is built right now. So if they can control the pace with Luka getting to the free throw line, attacking, that's when they nullify the Clippers. It's not going to be their defense, unfortunately. And the Clippers found their calling card, which was their defense.
You mentioned, Smitty, that it was their defense that predicated their offense. But we talk a lot about the 1-2 punch that is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and what those two are capable of. Break down what worked so well in this one from those two.
Well, I think we start off with Paul George, how he's played. Both those guys have been terrific offensively. They've done it.
The Mavs, do you do differently defensively against those two as they found this rhythm?
When I look at this unit, I said defense isn't their calling card, but they've got to be smart defensively. You know, Smitty and Kristen, they have to be early. They got to communicate. Maybe you still have to score through 2 or 3 defenders, but you've got to force the Clippers to do something that they don't want to do. Last year, they were so excellent in the success they had against the Clippers in making them play one-on-one, making them a little uncomfortable. But right now, things are just too easy, and you got to get back in transition because the Clippers want easy baskets, and they got them tonight.
Well, we're going to talk a lot more about that, but first we want to hear what Luka Doncic has to say as he's sitting down at the podium now.
Okay, we'll move on to Spanish with Claudia.
Luka, buenas noches. ¿Qué desafiante fue la defensa de los Clippers y qué tienen que trabajar para evitar que Clippers tomen el control y la ventaja en esta serie?
Bueno, hay que olvidarse de ese partido, ver los vídeos como hemos jugado en los primeros 2 y preparar y jugar duro.
Okay, last one will be Leonardo.
Luka, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches, se saluda Leonardo Torres desde Perú. Luka, vuelven a jugar el miércoles. Para ti, ¿qué tan importantes serán estos días de descanso y qué crees que deben de mejorar en defensa para frenar especialmente a Kawhi Leonard?
Sí, es importante descansar y bueno, tenemos que hablarlo, como he dicho, como hemos jugado los primeros 2 partidos, como para el Kawhi, lo que es muy difícil.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You better at least set your defense, and they weren't able to do that tonight.
How great, Ryan, is the mental hurdle of losing both games now back-to-back in Dallas?
Oh, man, this is going to be tough. And I was in a situation with the Clippers where we went up 2-0 on the Grizzlies, and we felt good. I don't want to say we were celebrating, but we felt good and lost 4 straight from there. So there's a mental aspect where the Clippers have seemed to have gotten over that hurdle. Smitty, I've always felt like the best identity for this team, why we got so excited to call them contenders, was the defensive potential for the Clippers. And we're now starting to see that. I know this Mavericks team can score with the best of them, but, you know, you look down the line, Batum, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George can defend. Rondo getting in there and having his piece of the pie on the defensive end of the floor. So now you're starting to get excited because this is a team that can guard probably the best in the league.
And also, Ryan, look at it. You talked about defense, and give T. Lue a lot of credit. Adjustment-wise, no starting lineup for Patrick Beverley. Hasn't played a lot of minutes in the last 2. He's going with Reggie Jackson in a bigger lineup. And so far, so good. 2 wins, and I think T. Lue is going to have to stick with that.
And as you mentioned, Nick Batum was in the starting lineup, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals as well, and he's addressing the media.
There we go. Hey, Nico, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
First of all, just when did you find out you were starting tonight's game? I know you started the second half of Game 3, but when were you told you were officially starting tonight?
Right after Game 3 at the hotel. No, well, we started that way in the second half 2 days ago. We're back to the hotel to say, okay, we're going to start that way on Sunday, so I knew it right away.
And just with Kristaps getting off to a kind of a good start for himself, how did you guys sort of deal with him and finally get off to a good first quarter start?
We knew like they're gonna go through him. You know, we took him away last game, so we kind of knew they're gonna go through him to get him in rhythm. So, but at least, I mean, like if they do that, the other guys won't get shot like early shot like they did the last couple of games. So we didn't panic. No, he got a good shot. He made some big shot, but Luka didn't get going the first 5 minutes like he did the first 3 games. Tim Hardaway didn't get going the first 5 minutes like he did the first 3 games as well. So, and we did good, no. And then we started missing shots, and we kept attacking, and PJ and Kawhi did a good job to attack them and get us going right away. And then the bench came in, and we did a good job for 48 minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll go next to Law.
Nick, early this season, you brought up a very interesting name as far as your role and what you thought you could accomplish on this team in Boris Diaw. I remember watching Boris Diaw starting at center for playoff teams, for championship teams. And I just want to know over the course of this season if you've gotten back in touch with Boris at all and if you've kind of watched how he played and how that might have impacted how you are doing playing more of a big man role for this particular team this year.
I talk to him a lot, of course, not with friends, but it's funny because like yesterday, that's why I called the video guys and I said I need footage of Boris and Draymond Green. I think they're the 2 best of the last 10 years, Draymond and Boris, they are the 2 best at doing what I have to do. Like those small centers, we can be point forward, they can play 1 through 5. So that's what I did yesterday. I watched video of Boris with the Spurs in 2014 and Draymond the last 5 years. And I tried to inspire myself from those 2 guys.
Thanks. Next, we'll go to Ohm.
Hey, Nick. When you look back to maybe the flight to Dallas or even the practice after being down 0-2, what's changed? I mean, the momentum has completely shifted. If you can pinpoint, maybe you think one thing that kind of changed for you guys.
I mean, we knew our mistakes. We just had to adjust. We really knew what we've done wrong. Now we had a game plan. The first 2 games, we made a lot of mistakes. I think they scored like 51 points in half of our mistakes, game 1, and 40-some in the second game. So we had to cut that, and we did it. After the first 8 minutes in game 3, we did that. And we did it tonight, try to cut our mistakes. They still got too many offensive rebounds, but they play with 2.75 footer though. So, but we did a good job, I think, on the rebound and contain Luka and Hardaway. But you know, we gotta move on. It's just 2-2. We were where we were supposed to be. We're supposed to be at 2-2, technically. So now I gotta go home and finally one team gotta take care of the home court, and we have to start on Wednesday. Gotta win this game if we want to be in good shape, because we can't put ourselves in a bad situation if we don't do the job on Wednesday.
And Nick, even when you guys were like down 30-11 in game 3, what's Ty been like this entire time? Down 0-2, down 30-11. What's he been like for you guys?
No panic. I mean, we didn't panic, and we knew like we have a lot of people on the crowd. And even for us, I mean, that was pretty cool to have that, because it's been a while since we played with like almost 20,000 people in the stand. So that event for us, it was pretty cool to play in that environment. So, and we just regroup ourselves. And at that point, we literally had nothing to lose. Like, so we just get on composure and play defense and be tougher. We did it, and now we start the game that way, and we start the second half, because I think we have bad third quarter almost every time. Besides the last 2 games, so we had a good start of the third quarter to give it no momentum again. So that's what we have to do moving forward.
Thanks, Nick.
The first team in NBA history to lose the first 2 games of a playoff series at home and then win the next 2 on the road by a combined 35-plus points. What a turnaround. Let's hear from Coach Ty Lue.
We'll get started with our first question from Barbot.
Hey, Coach, just want to know what you learned the most about your team in these 2 games.
Coming here to a hostile environment, down 0-2, and, the most thing I'm proud of is just, us keeping our poise, following the game plan, cleaning up some mistakes, making a couple adjustments. And like I said, from 2 disappointing losses on our home floor, I thought we really had the focus of coming in, taking it 1 game at a time and winning these 2 games. So I'm just very proud of the way our guys, focused and locked in and was able to execute, especially in the defensive end, the last 6 quarters.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Andrew.
Hey, Ty, ever since you guys fell behind by 19, you've outscored them by about 50 points. I know this is a game of many adjustments, but are there a couple things you would point to the most that you felt like you're happiest to have gone your way, the adjustments that have made that possible?
I think defensively, just getting better strengths on the floor with Luka. I think having our low man awareness when guys are beat off the dribble, it's like Hardaway making him drive it, Cleaver making him put the ball on the floor, and I thought we really did a good job of that. We really locked into those 2 guys, and they're very important to their team. Their 3-point shooting and their spacing. So I was proud of our guys for really locking in, trying to get those guys off the line, making them play inside the 3.
Nick just talked about how the team had no panic arriving here in Dallas down 2-0. What have you observed from your guys the last 4 days since you've been here?
Just poise and focus. I think staying poised, understand the task at hand. It's the first of 4 games. We still haven't done anything yet, but it was a good start for us going down 0-2 at home and coming out and be able to win 2 on their floor. So now the series is tied up. We're going back home. I'm to try to take care of home court advantage on Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is, but. And just keep it going from there. Just continue to keep building momentum.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Law.
Ty, we discussed the specific game plan, mistakes, the things that you wanted to see fixed. And as Andrew alluded to, Maxey and Tim, they were held to 1 of 11 from the field. Obviously, only 81 points to a team you gave up so many points to earlier in the week. Were there any more game plan mistakes despite the great defense, or are you satisfied with the complete game from your defense tonight?
I'm satisfied with a complete game. I mean, throughout the course of the game, you're going to have some mistakes. We understand that, but it can't result in 40 points or, 37 points, things like that. But, you're going to have some mistakes because they're good players. They're going to run some good stuff. Rick does a great job of running stuff out of timeout, so put you in some compromising positions as well. So just clean up the mistakes. We can't give up, 35, 40 points on our mistakes. And we did that tonight. And then, like I said, our guys are flying around, really physical in the defensive end. I thought for the most part we tried to check and box out, even though they was, we were small a lot, so they got some offensive rebounds. But, overall, just proud of our effort and following the game plan as best as possible.
How did you react to the wrench that was thrown at you with Boban reemerging in this series?
Yeah, he was effective. I think him and Big Zoo out there together battling a little bit. It's something that we definitely didn't see coming. But he gave him a little jolt. Offensively. The fans love him. He came in and played well. 5 for 9. 12 points and 6 rebounds. So, come next game, we got to be prepared for him and ready for him and his physicality and his height.
Thanks. Next up, we'll go to Ohm.
Ty, Kawhi's been relentless like the last 3 games. I'm wondering, you've obviously played alongside some of the all-time greats, and you've seen Kobe take his game up a notch in the postseason. What has Kawhi been like when he takes his game up a notch?
I mean, on both ends of the floor. I think rebounding the basketball, really attacking. I think through the course of the season he coasts, sometimes just, preparing and getting ready for this moment. But the pace and the speed he's playing with is what we need. It's unbelievable. Like attacking the basket, quick moves, quick decisions. And that's what our whole team, like we talked about, getting into the paint, driving the basketball. But Kawhi's been phenomenal, rebounding the basketball, attacking, but also catching the ball, making quick decisions, attacking early. So, we want to continue to keep doing that. We still got some work to do, but I like the direction we're trending in.
Did he ever say anything to you just that you kind of knew, you're like, okay, we're good, Kawhi's got it, he's gonna handle this?
As far as what?
Like when you guys were down 0-2 or anything like that, did Kawhi ever say anything to you?
No, I just knew we had to, simplify some things. I knew we had to get better with our game plan mistakes, but I think, like I say, in game 2, I think we found our remedy. How we wanted to attack this team and the positions we want to put them in when we're on the offensive end as well. So starting small is a little different for us because we can't really run as many plays because Nico doesn't know the full 5 position. But the plays we were able to run, we did execute at a high level, especially in that first half. I thought second half we got a little stagnant, so we got to be better, playing through the game. We got stops and we slowed the ball down and kind of try to run clock instead of just keep playing through the game and keep attacking early. And if we don't have it, then back out and run something. So we'll learn from that as well.
Thanks. Next, we'll go to Miriam.
Hey, Ty, you talked a little bit about Pat and Zeus sort of being cool, accepting their roles, but what can you say about Nico sort of taking on a challenge like this? He said he studied film of Draymond and Boris Diaw the last day. Do you think that helped in just sort of his mindset in taking on this role?
I think his mindset is great. He's still turning out a few shots tonight that he can take if they're going to put 5s on him. So we got to be ready to throw the ball back when, Porzingis is in his drops or Boban's in the game or whoever's playing the 5 position. But, defensively, I thought he did a great job with Luka getting up the floor, trying to deny him the basketball, pressuring a little bit. He had a block or 2 just flying around. So, Nico starting today, allowed us to switch more and do more defensively. And that's why we was able to hold him to 81 points tonight.
This series is now tied at 2 games apiece. Let's hear from Coach Rick Carlisle.
As badly as it went, I saw a lot of positives in the game. So like I was trying to do the right things. We had a very poor shooting night and had some good looks. We've got to work at defending better. That's obvious. That's where it's at. It's pretty simple. It's really a matchup-based series. And I just feel like, we just got to work to get more traction defensively. That's really the main focus for us.
Brad?
Yeah, Rick, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. How did Luka look physically out there to you? I mean, from us, from where we are, he was grimacing a lot and bent over sometimes.
Yeah, he's in pain. It appeared to me that he couldn't turn left, couldn't look to his left. He couldn't turn his neck to the left. And that's difficult for a guy that, relies on peripheral vision and, basically has played his whole life with his head on a swivel, So we got to hope in the next couple of days that he can get better, hopefully substantially better. There is a 2-day break between games, which is a positive in this case, and it's a positive for both teams if you got guys beat up and banged up, which I'm sure both teams do on some level. But his neck issue certainly contributed to a 9 for 24 night and him having some real unusual struggles.
Tim McMahon?
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Rick, what are the biggest concerns that you have about the way you match up or the way that they're attacking you when they're small and you guys are on the defensive end?
Yeah, look, they've got 2 great players that are just putting their head down and basically trying to go through us. We'll look at the film, see where we can do better. Look, the first 2 games we won were very high-scoring games. We scored a lot. They scored, one game they scored 121, the other scored 103. I mean, those were high-scoring games. From a process standpoint, we've just got to stick with it offensively. I mean, we had a lot of looks that we liked. We just got to keep stepping into them, with force, and we got to work at the defense. Leonard's a great player. George's a great player. They got great shooting. It's a challenge.
Tim? Tim, you're muted.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. When you say you need to be better defensively, is it specifically just individual performances? Is there scheme issues that you already can pinpoint that need to be improved?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all of the above. And, you know, you look at, you know, let me see here. You know, points in the paint, 44. That's a lot. We had 42. In the first game, there was a huge differential there, and we made some of that up, which is good. Second chance points, you know, we made a little bit of hay there. But look, a lot of this is transition, okay? They had 17 transition points, and we had 4. And look, in a playoff series where transition points is really one of the few ways you can get easy baskets, when you go minus 13 in that area, you know, you've really put yourself up against it. So defense is always going to start with the quality of shot that you get. And look, when you're missing and then not doing a good job of getting back, it amplifies, you know, the challenges even more. So it's all connected, but you know, we've got to remain steadfast on the things that got us, you know, to a 2-2 situation in a series, and you know, we just got to keep working at our defense, you know, our defense and rebounding, you know, and keep stepping into shots.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Kristaps Porzingis also just sat down. He had 18 and 5 in the loss.
What do you guys have to do individually and collectively to create some more resistance as far as their paint scoring is concerned going forward here?
Good question. We gotta look at the film on the rotations, how we're doing that, and you know, they're really good at kicking the ball out when we're doubling and just moving it around the perimeter, and then we run them off the 3-point line, and then they maybe drive, and you know, and there's a paint attack, and you know, they're able to score in the paint. So we got to look at how we can take some of those away, and but overall, you know, we know we can do a better job on both ends. Tonight was a below what we can do in terms of shooting, but it's okay. On to the next one.
Okay, we will move into Spanish. Eric.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Katie, Eric Mora de Telemundo Dallas. ¿Qué tanto le afectó al equipo mentalmente, psicológicamente, el saber que Luka Doncic no estaba al 100%? ¿Fue eso un factor realmente desde el principio del partido?
Yo creo que no. No debemos depender solo de si él está metiendo o no. Nosotros somos un equipo que sabemos que habrá días que no metemos, y tenemos que enfocarnos en defender y dejarlos en pocos puntos. Y lo hemos hablado después del partido también, que cuando el ataque nuestro no estamos tan enchufados como nos gustaría, por ejemplo como los primeros 2 partidos, tenemos que enfocarnos en la defensa y hacer un partido duro para ellos en ataque, con nuestra defensa y con nuestra mentalidad, incluso cuando el partido ofensivamente no va como queremos.
Daniel.
Daniel Mercado de Club Deportivo por Sydney. Empezaron el juego usándote alrededor de la pintura, después se salieron de eso. ¿Qué pasó?
No, a ver, lo intentamos hacer todo el partido, conmigo en la pintura. Algunas jugadas es todo un poco, ¿cómo se dice? Random. Es un poco, estamos intentando crear situaciones, no son jugadas específicas, sino son situaciones, y cuando hay cambio, pues intento ganar la posición dentro para